Hello traders, my name is Olimpiu Tuns and today I will be your host here for a new live trading session here today, July 14, 2021. Please confirm into the chat that you can hear me, to the YouTube chat. Also, if you have questions, if you have, I don't know, if you want me to take a look on a specific market, please, I'm waiting for messages into the YouTube chat. And also we'll start today by looking on gold's rally. So we had an impressive, important upside movement in gold. But first of all, please guys, read the risk disclaimer. It's very important for you to understand the risks when trading on the financial markets. And yeah, hi guys. Rashid, how are you? Yes, I'm fine. How are you, man? Okay, so please read the risk disclaimer before we'll start this live session. Let's wait for more members to join us. Aline, how are you? Yeah, not the best day of signals today, more losses than profits. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we'll talk about our positions. Unfortunately, we had a situation in Russell today. Unfortunately, we weren't able to close our long position in Russell around the take profit, right below the take profit. We tried several times, but unfortunately the platform, we didn't manage to close our long position, to manage our position in Russell. So that position has closed it at stop loss. We had an important volatility, sharp movements. So yeah, we'll talk about Russell as well. We'll talk about US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, also about the British pound versus the Japanese yen. But first of all, as I said earlier, we'll start with gold. And yeah, the price of gold has increased here today as much as 1829.82, 88 actually, maybe. And right now it tries maybe to stabilize here above these broken levels, resistance levels, 38.2 retracement level, also above the R1, the weekly resistance. Unfortunately, again here it has failed to approach to reach the upper medium line of the ascending pitchfork. But personally I believe that here, if the price of gold will stabilize above these levels, will continue to increase. Also, the unexpected growth in US inflation could help gold to increase. If you remember, I've posted an analysis, a video analysis talking about gold and US inflation, and I've told you that gold is used as an edge for inflation. So yeah, the price of gold, it has escaped from this pattern here, from this minor range. And if you remember, I've told you that as long as it stays above the medium line of the ascending pitchfork, it could continue to increase. So staying above all these broken levels could signal a potential further growth. Yeah, we'll talk about US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Thank you. Yeah, Rashid, yeah, this is great. If Russell position close it, take profit for you today. Yeah, it was almost for us it was almost to hit take profit, but unfortunately we tried several times to close that position, but unfortunately we didn't manage to close it right below take profit. So that's why in the end it has dropped and it has reached our stop loss, or it has closed it actually at break even. Okay, so gold is still bullish here, and the potential maybe consolidation here above 1854, above the 38.2, above the R1 could maybe signal a potential further growth here in gold in the upcoming days. We'll see what will really happen. Maybe also after maybe the Fed Chair Powell testifies. This event could bring maybe more volatility, more sharp movements. Also tomorrow, very important, the US is to release its unemployment claims. Is expected a potential drop here. Industrial production, capacity utilization rate, also Fed Chair Powell testifies, and also on Friday the US retail sales. And let's take a look also on the DXY, because yeah, we had an impressive sell-off here today. And personally, when maybe the DXY drops, yeah, I will take a look also on the British pound versus the Japanese yen, also on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Thank you. Okay, so we had today an important here sell-off after its failure again to maybe stabilize here above 78.6 retracement level, and right now is pressuring again this uptrend line, the rising wedge support. Let's wait and see what will really happen in the short term here. Rashid, do we cover gold in the signals Telegram? We didn't send gold signals lately, only because we wanted to stay away from gold and to maybe to focus only on the forex pairs, but definitely we will send you guys signals in gold, silver, US oil, again in maybe US equities, DAX 30, UK 100, and yeah, but right now we wanted to stay away from gold and to focus only on forex pairs. So we are still up in our real account 8%, more than 8%, and we'll continue to grow this real account despite today's bad trades maybe. But yeah, so the DXY, an important sell-off here today, but it remains to see if it will maybe confirm a breakdown, a valid breakdown here, yeah, to be able to continue to drop. And the potential only false breakdown here, maybe stabilization above 92.40, and the potential comeback above this uptrend line could maybe signal potential new growth here. We can draw another uptrend line, something like this. So this drop in the DXY could be only a temporary one before jumping higher again. So this drop, this sell-off registered by the US dollar has also helped the price of gold to increase in the short term. So personally, when the DXY drops, maybe I don't want to be maybe short in gold, yeah. And also this drop, this temporary decline here in the last hours here in gold could be only a temporary one. The price of gold could test and retest these levels before jumping higher. Maybe I will delete this one from here, this Fibonacci retracement, draw on this swing down here, and yeah. So I've told you here, right after this candle, after this false breakdown with great separation below the medium line, below 1797.72, below the 50%, and after its failure to reach the S1. So this candle here, this false breakdown with great separation, and followed by this retest here, bullish engulfing, signaled that the price of gold could jump higher, okay, in the short term. So right now the price of gold is bullish. Okay. Rashid, we did have the potential to close GBP versus the Japanese yen today, close to take profit, but many of us waited. Yeah, we decided only today to manage the GBP, the British pound versus the Japanese yen, to move our stop loss higher, and we let the pair ride. let's take a look on the British pound versus the Japanese yen. So I will delete this one from here and we'll take a look on hourly. So one moment. So here we decided to go long right above this high today after these retests of the weekly pivot point. But unfortunately the British pound versus the Japanese yen, it has decreased aggressively after the US dollar versus the Japanese yen has started to drop, has printed a sell-off. But as I've told you, we decided here today only to move our stop loss to cut the risk, okay? And yeah, maybe, but we wanted maybe to wait and to let this position ride. One moment here, only because yeah, we were here, and personally I've drawn this pitchfork here, 1, 2 and 3. Rejection here, false breakdown below the medium line, retest of the weekly pivot point and breakout. And personally here I've waited here maybe for a retest around our entry. That's why we didn't close it, maybe our position at break even, because yeah, maybe we thought that we may have a false breakdown here below the lower medium line or a retest before the price will jump higher. But our scenario was invalidated by this continuous drop. So let's take a look on the 4-hour chart, guys. And yeah, the price here has only retested the downtrend line. So in the short term here, after this only retest, the price has closed it far below today's high, below 153.29, and this sell-off, if the pair will close and stabilize maybe below the weekly pivot point, then maybe it could drop further in the short term. Let's take a look also on the Japanese stock index, on Nikkei, and here as well. So we had this breakout here above the upper medium line of the descending pitchfork. So we expected maybe something like a potential further growth after this temporary decline. It has jumped above the upper medium line again, and the potential stabilization here, a potential growth would have signaled the potential depreciation of the Japanese yen. So that's why we were long on the British pound versus the Japanese yen today. Okay, and also let's take a look on US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, because we had, so our position here, unfortunately, maybe for some of you guys this position wasn't triggered, maybe for some of you guys the price didn't reach the entry level. For us, the price, and as you can see here, it has increased as much as 1.2526. Our entry was at 1.2527, and because of spread, our position was triggered. So it has opened, and yeah, unfortunately the price has invalidated here this pattern, this breakout, this setup. So yeah, it has decreased, it has reached our stop loss at 38 pips loss. But as you can see, the price has decreased significantly, and right now it has rebounded. It moves somehow sideways here between the weekly pivot point and the 78.6. Right now we don't have something really good here. I will delete this pattern here, also this setup. So we'll have to wait here in US dollar versus the Canadian dollar before maybe taking action again, before identifying a new opportunity. And also why we decided here maybe to go long, only because the bias is still bullish. We had this drop, retest of the weekly pivot point, increase. We had a breakout here, and in the short term, maybe on hourly, we had something like this, like a minor pattern, and the valid breakout from this pattern would have signaled, confirmed a potential further growth, but unfortunately we had this false breakout here, and as I told you earlier, because of spread, our position was triggered without or before a valid breakout here or a potential new higher high, unfortunately. So we'll still have to wait here on this pair, but as I've told you, the bias is still bullish here, and if the pair will close maybe this candle, this 4-hour candle around these levels, to register only a false breakdown with great separation below the weekly pivot point, it could maybe continue to increase. But we'll have to wait here, guys, because we have this downtrend line. So maybe we'll have to wait here for a valid breakout, because we may have something here like a pattern, like a triangle. But we'll have to wait, maybe because the price could maybe drop a little again before really making a valid breakout, before confirming an upside continuation. Okay. One moment, in one of live sessions you showed US 30 open at position but didn't send VIP signal to VIP group. Why? I don't know. I didn't show you on US 30 open at position. Maybe you saw something like a setup on my trading view platform, but it was not a signal. When we send a signal, and when we have a confirmation, and when we have a high probability trade, every time we will send you guys all the signals into the VIP channel. So don't worry. Maybe you saw only a setup on my chart, but this is nothing. Maybe, and yeah, if you didn't receive signal into the VIP channel, so forget about it. Okay, Crutulis. Okay, test Apple, yeah, thank you as well. And please, guys, if you want me to take a look on a specific market, yeah, Jackson, US dollar versus the Japanese yen. US dollar versus the Japanese yen, one moment. Yeah, we had an important sell-off here. One moment, because I want to delete these from here. So as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen has increased here as much as 110.69. It has only registered the false breakout here above 23.6, 110.67. And let's take a look here on hourly. And if we draw something like this, like an uptrend line here, we had a breakdown, and the US dollar versus the Japanese has decreased significantly, only because the DXY US dollar index has plunged. It has printed an important sell-off today. That's why the US dollar has lost significant ground versus the Japanese yen. Also, I've told you that the Japanese yen has increased a little in the short term, only because also the Japanese stock index, the Nikkei, has decreased a little. Okay, so yeah, maybe we had something here, but after this drop below this low, but we had other trades, other signals running, so we stayed away from this pair for today. But right now we don't have something really good here. We'll have to wait after this sell-off, maybe for a potential rebound, for a weekly pivot point retest, maybe before, I don't know, identifying a new selling opportunity here, or maybe we'll wait for the price to maybe close and stabilize right below 38.2 before maybe going short. We'll have to wait here on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Bitcoin versus the US dollar. So let's take a look on Bitcoin as well, and I will take a look, on US 30, US 100, US 500. Thank you guys. So Bitcoin, personally I'm not sending I'm not managing the crypto channel. If you are talking about position on Bitcoin from the crypto channel, because here we don't send crypto signals. But let's take a look on Bitcoin. And as you already know, I've told you here that we may have a new false breakout here above the 50% Fibonacci line, and I told you that it could drop a little again. But I've told you also that we could maybe still trying to identify new buying opportunities, new long opportunities, as long as the price stays somewhere above this area support zone, above 31,000, maybe 30,066. So here the price of Bitcoin has rebounded and is back above the S1. Failing to stay below the S1 could signal potential maybe come back towards the weekly pivot point. But still, personally, I believe that only something like maybe a consolidation here and a valid breakout above the 50% Fibonacci line could really bring us and could signal a potential strong growth in the short term here on Bitcoin. So right now, for me, technically, I don't have something really good here, but yeah, as I've told you, one of my colleagues manages and runs the crypto channel, and also let's take a look here. If we'll draw something like this, we have something like a minor channel here, or something like this, maybe like a potential, and you can see here, if you will draw something like this, like a down sloping line here, that the price of Bitcoin has decreased, has retested this dynamic support, and right now it has bounced back, it has increased a little. And also here, it has jumped, it has registered a valid breakout here above this immediate downtrend line, breakout, retest, new higher high. So here, if the price of Bitcoin will stabilize above the S1, it could maybe continue to increase. Okay, I will take a look right now on the US 30 for you guys, for VIP members here today. So this is only for you. So right now, unfortunately, we had this sell-off. We still have this up channel intact. So as long as it stays within this up channel, the bias is still bullish. Maybe it will come back to retest all these support levels before jumping higher. And let's take a look again on the DXY. The DXY tries to rebound, tries to increase, so maybe that's why the US 30 right now drops, and maybe it will erase today's gains. It has increased as much as 33,068, but it has failed to reach this historical high, 35,102. We'll have to wait here, because let's take a look if we'll use maybe relative strength index. Let's see if we have something like a potential bearish divergence. because the price of the US 30, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, failed here to come back towards this upside line, signaling an overbought situation. So higher highs, lower highs, but it's premature maybe to go short here as long as it stays maybe above this uptrend line. Also, we have something here like a resistance zone area. So as long as it stays above this zone area, above maybe the pivot point, the weekly pivot point, above this former low, the bias is still bullish, guys, and we'll have to wait maybe for, if you are a seller, if you are a bear, maybe you will have to wait maybe for, I don't know, for a valid breakdown here below the uptrend line before going short on the 4 hour here. And let's take a look also on hourly. Yeah, here on the 1 hour, the US 30 has registered only a false breakout with great separation here below this former high, signaling a potential maybe drop, but it is still located above this minor uptrend line. Maybe dropping below this low, immediate low below this uptrend line could signal a potential drop towards these next downside targets levels. AliG drawdowns so far this week, but I have faith will recover. Yeah, as I've told you earlier, we are still up more than 8% in our real account, but as you already know, and as I've told you, we will continue to grow this account. We will continue to search for great opportunities for high probability trades, and even if maybe we'll have bad days, we will continue to send you guys great signals. And so here right now we don't have something really good in US 30. Let's take a look also on US 100. US 100, guys, let's take a look here. Another false breakout here above the R1, the weekly R1, 14,963.8. So all these false breakouts, and this one here, another maybe false breakout with great separation above this level, could really signal maybe a potential decline here in the short term, maybe towards the uptrend line, towards the weekly pivot point. Okay, let's take a look here on 1 hour chart. And right now we have a breakdown here below the immediate uptrend line. Right now the Nasdaq tries to maybe retest, and maybe if this index will maybe drop below these immediate lows, it could maybe continue to drop, as I've told you, towards this immediate uptrend line, towards the pivot point. And actually maybe we'll see, because maybe the price will be attracted by this confluence area formed here at the intersection between the pivot point with the uptrend line. Yeah, only false breakouts. It's failure here to maybe to make a new higher high, and maybe here around these levels maybe we'll have our, maybe the price will confirm something like a double top if the price will drop below this former low. But you should keep in mind that the US 100, the Nasdaq, is still located above this uptrend line here, so we could still have only a temporary drop. Okay, let's take a look also on US 500. Okay, one moment to go on a 4-hour chart. So this one is still bullish as well. The US 500, the S&P 500, yeah, here as well it has failed to make a new higher high, only false breakout, but here 4357.5, also the upper medium line are seen as strong support levels, so we can have only maybe something like this temporary drop, test, retest, only false breakdowns before it will jump higher, or only a potential, maybe I believe, valid breakdown below the upper medium line could signal an important and strong drop here in the short term on US 500, and also maybe a potential stabilization here, a new higher high could signal potential growth. We'll wait, and once we'll have new opportunities, trading opportunities here on US 500, we will send you guys the signals into the VIP channel for you guys, for VIPs. Russell, let's take a look on Russell as well. So we had something here today in the short term, that's why we decided to send you guys an intraday trade here on Russell. So here we decided to go long right above these highs, immediate highs, after this bullish engulfing here, after its failure to reach maybe the 61.8 retracement level. So Russell, it has increased, but unfortunately, as I've told you, we weren't able to close our position. We tried several times around our take profit, around these levels here, and right now we have this strong sell-off after this false breakout here above 38.2, after this bearish, maybe bearish engulfing, something like a bearish engulfing here, and right now we don't have something really good in Russell. We'll have to wait, because right now Russell is back in this maybe support zone, support area above 22.0575, above the S1, and something like a bullish pattern here could bring us a new long opportunity here in Russell. We'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look also, guys, on Euro versus the US dollar. We had here an important rally in the short term, and as you can see, the price of Euro versus the US dollar has found support again on this dynamic support, falling wedge downside line, and right now is trying to get out from this pattern again to make an upside breakout. Unfortunately, it has failed here to stabilize above this downtrend line, broken downtrend line. After this breakout, above, jumping above the weekly pivot point, it has failed to stabilize above it. And here in the short term, I've drawn here an ascending pitchfork 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, personally, I want to see maybe something like this, a drop, test, retest, maybe a retest of the lower medium line, false breakdown before the price jumps higher, and before we'll maybe have a long opportunity. Also something like this, maybe consolidation, test, retest, here stabilization above the S1, followed by a new higher high here, could bring us something. Let's wait and see. Yeah, because right now this breakout could be invalidated if the DXY will jump higher again. Yeah, Adam Queen, New Zealand dollar close to buy, signal received today. Yeah, we deleted that pending order in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, as I've told you in the VIP Telegram group. We sent you guys and we placed a pending order, a buy stop in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, and a buy stop in US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. And the New Zealand dollar versus the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar setup was invalidated. Let's take a look. and the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar was triggered. So let's take a look here. So this it was our setup, guys. We were maybe around these levels here, and unfortunately the price failed to stay above the weekly pivot point, above this level 0.7006. So this further drop here has invalidated our setup, only because the price of New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar has dropped below our stop loss, okay, before reaching our entry level. So yeah, this setup is no longer valid, guys, so that's why we will delete it. And if the price would have stayed above the pivot point, maybe to move sideways here, test, retest, a new higher high here would have confirmed a potential growth and would have triggered our buying position in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Okay, so here on the 4-hour chart, yeah, it has registered only a false breakdown here below the pivot point, but here it is almost maybe to reach this downtrend line, so resistance. We also have this range, this major range here on the 4-hour chart, so maybe we'll have to wait here on the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, maybe for a valid breakout, for a new higher high, for an upside breakout from this pattern, from this range, before going long, before looking for a buying opportunity, or before maybe looking maybe for an important upside movement here in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. And because a false breakout here with great separation, bearish engulfing, rejection could bring us a new sell-off, and the potential downside breakout from this range could really signal a potential important drop here in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Yeah, Australian dollar versus the US dollar, guys. Minor sideways movement here. We'll have to wait maybe for the price maybe to jump above the weekly pivot point to maybe considering going long, or we'll have to wait. And once we'll have confirmation here as well, we will send you guys the signal into the VIP channel. One moment here. So we have here a sideways movement right below the weekly pivot point. The price has failed to drop towards the S1. So one moment, because I want to draw something like this. No, it is not a good one. So right now we don't have something really good here in Australian dollar versus the US dollar, because a potential new drop here could really signal a potential further decline, deeper drop. If the DXY will increase further, the US dollar could take the lead again, or if the DXY will really confirm, let's take a look again on the DXY. If the DXY will really confirm, maybe let's go on a 4-hour, maybe something like this to retest, to make a new lower low, maybe to make a new a drop, also to drop also below the weekly pivot point, to make a valid breakdown also below this uptrend line. So a potential larger drop here in the DXY could bring us maybe a potential new buying opportunity on the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, but we'll have to wait, as I've said earlier, because we don't have something really good here right now. Okay, the British pound versus the US dollar. Sean, Swan, do you have anything about the FedCon and how it will affect crypto? No, I don't have something right now. As I've told you, I'm not sending crypto signals and I'm not managing the crypto channel. So personally, I'm looking only on Bitcoin, maybe much more technically, only also on Ethereum, Dogecoin, maybe Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, on major altcoins. Okay, so personally I like to use more technical analysis to identify maybe trading opportunities in cryptocurrencies, because we don't have too many fundamentals. I don't know, really good fundamentals maybe to. Okay, the British pound versus the US dollar. It has escaped once again from this pattern here. It has invalidated its breakdown here below the downtrend line, and right now it tries to stabilize again inside of the ascending pitchfork's body. It tries to retest the weekly pivot point, the lower medium line, and I really believe that maybe something like this, potential new higher high, jump above 61.8, consolidation, stabilization could maybe signal potential growth here, but right now we'll have to stay away. We'll have to wait to see what will really happen on the DXY, on the US dollar index. Yeah, and Andy Smith, this is not a crypto group. Don't get signals for crypto. Let's not spend too much time discussing crypto on here. Yeah, thank you, Andy. No, it is not a problem. We can talk about cryptos, but I don't know how the Fed coin will really affect the crypto market. So personally, I'm looking at cryptos at what we have right now, technically maybe. So here it has failed. So as you can see, it moves somehow sideways here. It has invalidated the potential further drop. It has failed here to stabilize right below the lower medium line, below this downtrend line. So personally, if the price, the British pound versus the US dollar, stays above the weekly pivot point, above the lower medium line, but how do we know if the price will stay above these levels? Maybe I want to see something like a false breakdown here with great separation, the price to drop below these obstacles, to close far above them, to maybe, if the price will make a bullish engulfing here right on these support levels, could really signal that the price could increase. Okay, that's why we don't know right now, because yeah, the price could drop below them to stabilize and drop further. Yeah, that's why I want to see something here like a bullish engulfing. Yeah, something like a major bullish candle here, like a false breakdown, something like this maybe, for some potential candle drop much below these levels to close above them, retest before jumping higher. Yeah, and also I want to wait maybe, as I told you, for a new higher high here, maybe for consolidation above 61.8 before the price will resume its growth. Also maybe for a better breakout here above this immediate downtrend line. So we'll have to wait here in the British pound versus the US dollar. Let's take a look also on hourly. And yeah, right now it could only retest these levels before maybe trying to jump higher, and I've told you that potential breakdown here, retest its failure to come back maybe above the lower medium line could signal a potential deeper drop, larger drop. We'll have to wait, guys. Here, John, yeah, euro versus the British pound. One moment, because I want to draw and I want to delete something from here. I want to delete all these. So as you can see here, so we had, guys, here a false breakout with great separation above 0.8615 signaling a potential drop, and here, if you remember, we had something like a buy stop pending order, but I believe that the price has decreased and it has invalidated our setup in euro versus the British pound. Yeah, so right now the euro versus the British pound, it has found support here on the weekly S1. It has registered only false breakdown, and also here on this downside line, on this down sloping line, maybe on the falling wedge support downside line. Maybe it was somehow expected a potential rebound from here after this strong sell-off. Let's take a look here, but we don't have something like an historical support here. Maybe here something around this level, but personally maybe I would like to see maybe something like this, maybe for a new drop before jumping higher, before maybe considering going long on this one here. Only because, let's take a look here. Right now the pair has jumped above this immediate downtrend line, but this breakout could be invalidated. That's why maybe we'll have to wait maybe for a test, retest, for a sideways movement here before maybe considering going long. Also we are right below, I believe, one moment, we are right above these former lows here, but as I've told you, this breakout could still be invalidated if the price will drop significantly, if it will stay below these upside obstacles. And also an important thing here, we have here the confluence area at the intersection between 0.8535, this downtrend line. So a valid breakout here both above and through this confluence area could bring us maybe a sharp and an important and strong growth in the short term. But let's wait maybe for a consolidation here before jumping higher. Yeah, guys, okay. US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Whoa, what an important sell-off here in US dollar versus the Swiss franc. It has rebounded, it has retested, it has registered only false breakouts here above the 50% retracement level, and right now it drops, and the next downside target could be here at 150% Fibonacci line. One moment, 150% Fibonacci line, also at the 38.2, and I believe that maybe something like a valid breakdown here could really signal a potential deeper drop, but we'll have to wait, because we could also have something like this here, like a pattern, like a sideways movement in the short term on US dollar versus the Swiss franc, and a false breakdown here, false breakdown with great separation, a bullish pattern here, bullish engulfing, or I don't know, pin bar or something like this could maybe bring us a new short minor swing higher here in the short term on US dollar versus the Swiss franc. But right now this pair drops as the DXY drops as well. I believe that, yeah, we have a further drop here in the DXY, and yeah, we have a strong positive correlation between the DXY and the US dollar versus the Swiss franc, and when the DXY drops, the US dollar versus the Swiss franc should drop as well. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. Okay, so we'll have to wait here to see if the DXY will stabilize below these broken levels, if it will continue to drop, or if it will maybe only retest the pivot point before jumping higher. We'll have to wait. Yeah, DAX 30 guys. Yeah, thank you as well. Thank you, John. And if you like hear my analysis, please, you can like this session here. So DAX 30 is back here around this resistance, static resistance One moment. Yeah, it is located right below 15,803.3. it has rallied, it has jumped far above this downtrend line. Diop, no. Do you deal with synthetic indices like boom, crash and volatility? No. Yeah, I'm looking at this kind of, but no, we will not talk here about these indexes. Okay, let's talk about DAX 30 here right now. As you can see here, we had a rising wedge pattern. Yeah, sell off here. It has failed to approach this former low. It has invalidated a potential larger drop. It has moved sideways, and yeah, we had this rally, aggressive breakout through this downtrend line, and here we had a temporary decline, and right now is pressuring this, I believe. One moment, because this is the historical high, I believe. And yeah, so right now is pressuring our historical high, actually a former historical high, because here is our historical high, all-time high. One moment, at 15,814.7. so we'll have to wait maybe here for something, for a valid breakout, or for a potential decline here, sideways movement, before it will make an upside breakout here. Because if this candle will be, I don't know, closed here around these levels, maybe around its open, this candle, a false breakout with great separation, could maybe signal a potential decline in the short term. But still, we had this one here, its failure to retest the broken downtrend line, or actually it has retested it here, registering volume false breakdown. So the bias is bullish here in DAX 30 on the German stock index, so we'll have to wait maybe for a confirmation here. Personally, I would have liked to see something like a sideways movement here, range, an upside breakout before jumping higher. Also here, an upside breakout, consolidation, stabilization could signal something. We'll have to wait, guys, maybe for this candle to close. Yeah, okay. Silver continues to move sideways, and as you already know, we stayed away from this commodity as well. We'll talk also about US oil, guys. So we stayed away from this commodity as well. We only have a sideways movement here. Maybe if it will maybe stabilize above the medium line, test, retest, could signal us a potential increased growth here, but right now we don't have something really good. On silver, let's take a look again on gold. Yeah, gold is still here, it's still bullish in the short term. It could retest maybe these broken levels, resistance obstacles, before jumping higher. US oil, guys, let's take a look on US oil. An important sell-off again here. I've told you maybe yesterday in an analysis that it's risky to buy it here around these levels. I told you guys that maybe the price will hit this downside sliding parallel line, 76 psychological level, but yeah, right now it's back below the lower medium line, and maybe something like this retest, a new lower low, could signal a deeper drop. We'll have to wait here, guys, on the US oil. But yeah, the bulls, the buyers are exhausted. and the price of oil could drop maybe if the demand will decrease. Maybe we'll have to wait here. So we had a breakdown through all these uptrend lines below the lower medium line, but I would like maybe to see something like a retest, because this breakdown could still be invalidated. Maybe if this candle will close above the lower medium line, or if maybe the price will print maybe something like a bullish engulfing, a strong bullish candle. Yeah, so we'll have to wait, because here we may have only a false breakdown below 23.6, and that's why I want to see retest here before really getting confirmation that the US oil will drop. Okay guys, thanks for being here today, for joining me here, and don't forget guys that tomorrow we'll have more high impact events maybe, and also on Friday the US is to release its retail sales, and we may have some volatility again around this US data dump. Yeah, let's take a look again on the DXY. The DXY drops, that's why the US dollar depreciates right now versus its rivals, and in the end, yeah, the unexpected growth in US inflation is bad for the US dollar. Okay, so we'll have to wait guys to see maybe tomorrow what will bring the Australian data, unemployment change, unemployment rate, the Chinese gross domestic product, because also if you are trading the Australian dollar, also the New Zealand dollar, these Chinese data